Friend, there's a difference between a bad marriage and a bad living situation. Hang on though. Hey Sunshine, I'm Dr. Donna Oreo, a sex and relationship therapist in the Washington, D.C. metro area, helping Black women feel free, fabulous, and apt for the algorithm. Now, I think it was like a week or so ago, anyway, where I posted this thing right here about how, like that viral TikTok moment where they were like, hey, would you do it again? And everybody's like, no, never. And, some of the answers about whether or not you would want to live with a man, specifically partner, whether or not they would do that again, turn very quickly into, I would never get married again, right? And I just wanted to point out there's a difference between a bad living situation and a bad marriage. Number one, sometimes quiet as it's kept, people get married because, well, there's a ring involved. There's a big party involved because society told you that you should get married. And sometimes we marry partners that we don't actually like, right? Or that match who we were, but they didn't grow and evolve with us. And so they become someone that we maybe dislike or someone that doesn't fit with where it is that we're trying to go in our lives. But here's the thing. One of these things can be probably, like a bad living situation is a conversation, right? Like what works, what doesn't work. Trying to figure out whether or not you want to try separate rooms, whether or not you want to try separate houses in the same neighborhood, whether or not you need a partner who is constantly traveling or in the military. People work out their relationships in that way. However, some of y'all are talking about y'all just don't like your partners. That is a little bit different. That sounds like couples therapy and negotiating a divorce, not necessarily negotiating living arrangements and how we do what we do, right? Because here's the thing that is always true. Our past come with us when we go into a new space and with new people. And sometimes we have habits and ways of doing things that other people do not. When my mama said clean the dishes, she meant clean the kitchen. Right? And clean the kitchen meant very specific things. It means you did the dishes by hand because despite the fact that we had a dishwasher, that thing was it was a drying rack. It was a drying rack. So you hand washed the dishes. You placed them on the drying rack. You cleaned out the sink. So there was no remnant of food left. You washed down the countertops and you put any food that was out away, right? That was do the dishes. For some of y'all, that means also mop the floors, clean out the fridge. And for some of you, it means, cleaning the dishes means do the dishes, right? We grew up in different ways, which means that the way that we interpret the same sentences may be very different. It doesn't mean that you have a bad marriage. It just means that you have a different living situation. And what I have found is that we are unwilling to have the difficult conversation because we're worried about feeling uncomfortable about the conversation and what it might lead to, arguments, as opposed to also equally being worried that our silence makes us complicit in a bad living situation. This is something that I just want you to sit in, to think about. I thought that the conversation that we started having last week or whenever we started was very interesting, but I don't want us to get stuck in thinking that the problem is solely the living situation. Some of y'all have a bad relationship situation, and that is not the same thing. Let's not conflate the two. But y'all already know what it is. Hit your girl in the comments. Where are you with this? Remember, keep it respectful. Discourse, not disrespect. All right, I'll see you in the comments. Bye.